Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. This is the weekly general reading for the period of Sunday, June 16th through Saturday, June 22nd. So June 22nd, the first day of the sign of Cancer. For this week, happy birthday to the last of the third deacon Geminis, and happy birthday to any of the June 22nd or anybody that considers themselves a Cancer if their birthday is the 21st. I know I have some people close to me, their birthday's the 21st. If you call them a Cancer, they would die. They are Geminis. But, to each their own. And there are different calendars. Some say that Gemini ends on the 21st, and some say that it ends on the 20th. So, depends what one follows. In any case, happy birthday to you all, and congratulations on anything else anybody is celebrating this week. Graduations, engagements, new babies, anniversaries. This is a huge month. June is a huge month for weddings, and therefore anniversaries too, of course. So congratulations on all that stuff, in your progress and moving on, in whatever that area of your life that may be. We're going to start with the Christian calendar, and actually I'll start with the others to say that there's nothing on them this week. The Islamic calendar, we're not going to revisit again, at least not on this channel, until August 10th, which will be around the same time as the end of Jupiter retrograde. All these things, I try to point out, always happen around the same time. So August 10th is the Hajj on the Islamic calendar, which is the pilgrimage. And it'll also be the day that Jupiter goes direct, if I remember correctly. So we'll get back to them then. On the Hebrew calendar, the Jewish calendar, there is nothing through the rest of June. We don't revisit the Hebrew calendar until July 4th. July 4th, Independence Day here in the United States, also happens to be the first day of the month of Tammuz in the year 5779 on the Hebrew calendar. So we'll get back to them then. But on the Christian calendar, this week, this Sunday, Tupac Shakur's birthday, the day that some of us will see the full moon, while others receive it the following day on the 17th, is the Feast of the Holy Trinity. So for that, I've gone to www.britannica.com to tell you a little bit about the Feast of the Holy Trinity. It's also called Trinity Sunday, and it's a feast in honor of the Trinity. It's celebrated in Christian churches on the Sunday following the Pentecost, which is the 50th day after Easter. It's known that the feast was celebrated on this day from as early as the 10th century. So we've been going over the numbers that are connected, to Christianity, to religion, to spirituality, and we see them repeating over and over and over again in different cultures. 10 would definitely be one of them. Celebration of the feast gradually spread in churches of Northern Europe, and in the year 1334, Pope John the 22nd, master number 22, which equals 13, another one of those special numbers, or 4, another one of those special numbers, or 1111, which of course is special to us. He approved it for the entire church. In the liturgical church year, Anglican and Lutheran churches date the Sundays that follow Trinity, the quote, end quote, after Trinity. And the Roman liturgy dates these Sundays as the quote unquote after Pentecost. On 6/20, which is an 11, 20 equals 11, but also the full date, June, 6 for June, 2 for 20 equals 8, plus 3 for 2019 equals 11. So the whole day is an 11 or a 2. It can be about partnerships and stuff. The feast day of the body and blood of Christ, also known as Corpus Christi. For that, I went to www.wikipedia.org, and just gives us a little synopsis here. The Feast of Corpus Christi is a Catholic liturgical solemnity celebrating the real presence of the body and blood of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, in the elements of the Eucharist, known as the transubstantiation. 2 months earlier, the Eucharist is observed on Monday, Thursday in somber atmosphere, leading to Good Friday. They're talking about Holy Thursday. That's a different name for it. The liturgy on that day also commemorates Christ's washing of the disciples' feet, the institution of the priesthood, and the agony in the Garden of Gethsemane. The Feast of Corpus Christi was established to create a feast focused solely on the Holy Eucharist, emphasizing the joy of the Eucharist being the body and blood of Jesus Christ. The feast is liturgically celebrated on the Thursday after Trinity Sunday, or, quote, where the solemnity of the most holy body and blood of Christ is not a holy day of obligation. It is assigned to the Sunday after the Most Holy Trinity as its proper day. In the liturgical reforms of 1969 under Pope Paul VI, the bishops of each nation have the option to transfer it to the following Sunday. After the end of Holy Mass, there is often a procession of the Blessed Sacrament, generally displayed in a monstrance, which is that thing that looks like a starburst, like a gold bursting shooting star in a bunch of directions, usually sitting on the altar of any given church, certainly a Catholic church. The procession is followed by the benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. A notable Eucharist procession is that presided over by the Pope each year in Rome, where it begins at Archbasilica of St. John Lateran and passes to the Basilica of St. Mary Major, where it concludes with the benediction of the Blessed Sacrament. The celebration of the feast was suppressed in Protestant churches during the Reformation because they do not hold to the teachings of the transubstantiation. Depending on the denomination, Protestant churches instead believe in differing views concerning the presence of Christ in the Eucharist, or that Christ is symbolically or metaphorically part of the Eucharist. Today, most Protestant denominations do not recognize the feast. The Church of England abolished it in 1548 as the English Reformation progressed, but later reintroduced it. That's the Feast of Corpus Christi. And then that is all for this week on the Christian calendar as well. So we're going to go to the planetary calendar, the celestial calendar. And on that we have June 16th at 11:21 a.m., Jupiter square Neptune. June 17th at 4:31 a.m., full moon in Sagittarius. June 18th, 7:46 a.m., Saturn sextile Neptune. June 21st at 10:36 a.m., Neptune retrograde. And June 21st again at 11:54 a.m. Both of those times equal 19, by the way, 10:36 and 11:54. The sun enters Cancer on the 21st. So for me, again, thereby making the first day of Cancer the 22nd, the last day for which this reading is. And that's it on the planetary calendar. So since I have a separate full moon reading, the only one that I'm going to talk to you about quickly is Neptune retrograde. And for that, I've gone to astrology.com, an article called Neptune retrograde, Meaning and More. Along with Venus, Neptune is a planet of feminine energy. As the modern ruler of Pisces, she symbolizes what's ideal, noble, transcendent, nebulous, and spiritual in our lives. She's how we experience a sense of unity and sympathy with the world. However, she also represents how we encounter illusion, delusion, addiction, and loss. 2019 Neptune retrograde. It goes from June 21st through November 27th. Neptune takes its time to move through the zodiac, spending roughly 14 years in each sign. Because of this snail's pace, the effects of the transit may be subtle and reveal themselves only over time, or when Neptune makes significant aspects to the natal chart. Neptune stations retrograde only once a year, spending nearly half of the year there, as these retrograde cycles normally last between 5 to 6 months. If you were to chance upon a text regarding Neptune's role in astrology, you'd likely be inundated with its soft-touch spiritual themes, ranging from its ability to inspire heady artistic visions, as well as to pitch us into mystical whirlpools of healing. In part, this is true. Neptune has a nebulizing effect that can snap us out of our ego identities just long enough to let a little universal love pour in. There is much more to Neptune, however, and it's not all so rosy. In the foggy realms of Neptune, boundaries tend to disappear altogether, leaving us open to deception and delusions. While part of Neptune's tendency is admirable, in so much it generates a well-intentioned desire to serve without reward, the danger with planet Neptune is to dissolve entirely into the other, sacrificing our ego identity as we search for salvation. If Uranus seeks what's new while Pluto seeks what lies beneath, Neptune seeks the ideal. The placement of Neptune in the natal chart by sign, house, and aspect can describe an area of life where we seek to be redeemed from the disappointing reality of human existence. This process is usually unconscious by throwing ourselves into work or relationships past all point of separation. We may be seeking much more than a happy marriage or a pay raise. Somewhere deep down, we may believe that this area of life will lead us to deliverance, and that by sublimating our personal ego-based needs to the greater good, we will somehow manage to atone for our sins and be welcomed back into Eden. Neptune also involves a fair amount of fantasy. There's something of Dionysius in Neptune. Music and dance, diversion and indulgence converge into one, leading us from this plane of existence into sacred, non-linear consciousness. As a higher octave of planet Venus, highly personal affections of romance are transmuted by Neptune into collective unconditional love. Neptune retrograde effects. Being the master of illusion means working in mysterious ways. The fact that it is retrograde about 40% of the time also means that Neptune's effects are subtle and even sneaky, very sneaky. When direct, Neptune will put a veil on our eyes, helping us to hide anxieties and unwanted realities. Once it's retrograde, Neptune loses its powers, and this illusion is slowly but surely stripped away, sometimes leaving us face to face with a harsh and painful reality. The rose-colored filters are gone, and we must face reality. Neptune has been called the greatest maleficent, perhaps because we do not see her coming until she's there. But ultimately, Neptune retrograde can help us to find deeper meaning, not only in our dreams, but also in our entire existence. Because Neptune moves through the zodiac so slowly, transits from Neptune to a natal planet may last for several years. This is one key reason that Neptune retrograde transits are important. Very easily, Neptune transits can dominate entire years of our lives. If one of our natal planets is caught in the crosshairs of Neptune's retrograde stations, the effects may be particularly intense and long-lasting. This thing goes on to talk about Neptune retrograde in one's natal chart, as well as, other dates that are relative to Neptune retrograde if you want to read further. Again, that was from www.astrology.com/retrograde/Neptune-retrograde. And on that note, let's get to our cards. Our dice first. We're starting with yes, stay in bed, and buy shoes. Spirit says forget it. Cocktail. and sex. How's that for Neptune and water? So with the cards, I'm beginning with Ascended Masters, which is very interesting because I wasn't even going to use this deck, and I found myself shuffling it like, what the hell, what am I doing? And coming to Ascended Masters, which turned up a gazillion times in my Sagittarius full moon reading. So I decided to go ahead and use them again for this reading, although I had no intention to originally. I also pulled out my Soul's Journey cards for some advice, and we're going to begin with adversity. I accept the challenges are the best way for me to learn. And I wasn't surprised to see this either, because again, in the Sagittarius full moon reading, there was a lot of indication of like persecution that maybe stems from a past life situation. And so I equated that with the adversity, like that we're going to be facing some sort of adversity. This was interesting too. I was moved at that point to pull out my Ascended Master cards after I turned up with Ascended Masters again, after seeing them over and over and over in my, and talking about them several times in my Sagittarius full moon reading. So I pulled them out, shuffled them, came to King Solomon and priorities. Then I pulled out my Abundance Oracle cards, because this period also has been shown to me to be about really increased abundance in all areas, including love. And whereas the Ascended Masters deck is beginning with priorities, this one I landed on focus on your priorities. So it's like doubly that message coming through. And then quite reasonably with the Angel Tarot, I'm beginning with the Page of Fire, which represents for me the sign of Sagittarius, like where the full moon is. And there's a huge full moon in the picture even. Outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. And lastly, the Magician, which for me represents the planet Mercury and the sign of Gemini, which he rules. But sometimes I also tie it to the other mutable signs, Sagittarius being one. Of course, Virgo and Pisces, where Neptune will be retrograde and which Neptune rules, being the other. There's magic in the air. You can manifest everything you need to be successful. So this is about manifestation. All right, so I'm only going to, these are all going to be like additional messages, oracle messages, advice. And I'm only really going to use, as far as the spread, these two. I think I did like 4 spreads in my Sagittarius full moon reading. So again, we're beginning with the Page of Fire, which represents the sign of Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Maybe a younger one, or somebody that's super youthful, or that looks very young. That can be too. And opening to Major Arcana card 14, Balance or Temperance, which also represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot. But for me, is also connected to the sign of Aquarius and to Uranus, which was mentioned in that Aquarius, in that Neptune retrograde article, by the way. They mentioned Uranus. It's another one of these watery planets, although it's air, right? It rules air sign Aquarius, which is the water bearer, and sits pretty close to Pisces in the constellations. So anyway, it's all about the need for moderation, cooperation, and compromise, and it guides us to wait for that perfect timing. It's about coming together with somebody, like meeting them halfway. You say black, I say white, so we can maybe like meet somewhere in the middle around gray and come to an agreement that works for us both. Aw, it's the moon right away, opposite the Sagittarius. It's the Sagittarius moon. How cool is that? Major Arcana card 18 represents the planet Neptune and the sign of Pisces, which it rules. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Page of Fire. And fellow fire sign Leo, represented by Major Arcana card 11. I also talked a bit about 11 just now as I was reading at the Feast of Corpus Christi. Strength, great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, we're going to try to exercise some forgiveness and compassion. It's another rainbow in this card. I keep noticing rainbows that I never paid attention to before. I guess for Pride Month. June is Pride Month. So, here's the rainbow. On that note, you know what? Let's cut. And it's Major Arcana card 21, the World, with Archangel Michael. A job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. It's possible that something has come full circle and we're at the end of a cycle. The World, for me, more so, is also about the universe easing you out of a situation, circumstance, relationship, whatever, and moving you slowly into one that is better fitting for you, that you are, for which you are more suited. It's very much like the Tower for me, with one exception. The Tower is a quick energy. It comes in very unexpectedly sometimes, and it's fast. It wasn't here yesterday, all of a sudden it's here. The World can require us to have some patience, right? It's more of a slow moving, but we're getting out of this situation soon, it'll be over kind of energy and feel to it. And our overall energies, yet again, strength, great inner strength, release harsh judgments, instead exercise some forgiveness and compassion, representing the sign of Leo. That might be two there in the feminine subconscious. It felt kind of thick. And again, from my Animal Tarot, begin with Major Arcana card 1, Magician. There's magic in the air. You can manifest anything that you need, anything and everything that you need to be successful. And opening 2, again, card number 11, Major Arcana card number 11, Strength, representing the sign of Leo. True strength is displayed through kindness, forgiveness, and compassion. You have tremendous personal power and courage. There could be something going on between maybe a Gemini specifically and a Leo. And into their difficulties or to their conflict, to some betrayal that they had between them maybe. The end of a career path, project, or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. The Magician and the Prince of Spring with a big full moon, Sagittarius full moon. Passionate, charismatic, confident, and restless. An opportunity arises that needs your attention right away. Moving quickly is important, yet there's nothing that you can't handle if you follow your own inner guidance. Man, that came up so many times, particularly for the masculine in my Sagittarius full moon reading, that paying attention to your intuition and your inner guidance. So do watch that this week. And next, the Prince of Spring is a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And on that one, I will cut. We'll fix these cards in a minute. Often typically I will turn over the first set before laying the others, but I'm just moved to lay these tonight right on top of these without looking to see what those are. So we've come to the Queen of Winter. Experience, self-sufficient, brilliant, and funny. All of your life experiences have prepared you for this moment of truth. It's time to declutter your home, to clear away situations that aren't working for you anymore, and to disengage from people who create more drama than happiness. That also came up really strongly in that. So if you have not seen my Sagittarius full moon reading, do check it out. There are people with whom we are going to have to cut some major cords, and some of them may be related to us, even like your own mother or father. Yeah, like that. The Queen of Winter is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Overall energy is the Ace of Summer. This is the beginning of a new emotional experience for you. It may be the first blush of romantic love, the rebirth of a current relationship, or the awakening of spiritual gifts and insights. All right, so now we'll fix this. Okay, crown of the masculine. The Ace of Winter and the Three of Water. So some truth comes out, and that allows you to move on and move past something that was holding you up, maybe even to celebrate. You get some information that brings you some sort of major clarity and allows you to celebrate. This could be a win. The Ace of Winter is about victory too, triumph, often after adversity, after a difficult time, right? The difficult time being represented by the 10 of Winter or 10 of Swords. The next card after the 10 is the Ace or the 11. So coupled here with the Three of Water, we are celebrating a win. Maybe after a long, difficult time. Implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan and to reshape your goals into something even better. And the Three of Water, a celebration, a wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. So there may be some more bumps in the road, even though we're, celebrating and or we're able to maybe take some time off from being serious and be a little bit social because we, got some information that we need. So now we can lay off of this business or serious stuff for a minute and be a little social. We could still encounter a couple more bumps, but we should feel confident that we're getting a fresh start and not, let those bumps scare us. Surrounding the masculine. Major Arcana card 16, or it's called life experience in this deck, but this is the Tower. And the King of Spring or Wands. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. This can have something to do with an actual tower, maybe a home, a business, some other sort of structure. And coupled with the King of Spring, who may be, in fact, a Leo with all the strength that keeps showing up. Same thing happened in the Sagittarius full moon reading. I hate to keep mentioning that, but strength came up so many times in that reading. So yeah, do check it out. The King of Spring is inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful. Right? We see that with the Ace of Winter. We're going to be triumphant. They will be successful as long as you stay focused on the big picture. So if you remain focused on your priorities, which I feel in the greatest sense is yourself. You're the priority. You will be successful. There's another moon here in this picture too. So very Sagittarius full moon. The Tower is like the world. I was just saying the world is like the Tower for me, except for slow. Well, the Tower is like the world, except for fast. It's an energy that comes in very, very quickly, sometimes unexpectedly, and just things can change just like that. That's what the Tower is about. Some people think the Tower is negative, no matter what. They see it and they go, oh no, the Tower. I'm not one of those people. And I look at it in the context of the other cards that come out. So far, I'd say it's a good Tower. We have an overall energy of the Ace of Summer or Cups, Major Arcana card Strength, another Ace, the Ace of Winter, and the King of Spring, King of Wands. Masculine Subconscious, the Queen of Cups, and Major Arcana card 8, Justice. The Queen of Cups or Water is tenderhearted, empathetic, patient, and loving. Also a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. And Major Arcana card 8, Justice, which represents the planet Venus, and the sign of Libra, which she rules. Fair decisions will be made after all of the evidence is reviewed impartially. Have compassion for others and try to see all sides of a disagreement. There may be something of a legal situation for the masculine that is coming to an end too. Like the scales are finally being balanced in his favor, with this, with Justice coupled with the Queen of Cups. And with the Ace of Winter, which again is about winning. Winning, triumph after adversity. Crowning the feminine. Ooh, very nice. It is Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel, which is another very quick energy that comes in, just like the Tower. But this one is always good, at least in this deck. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel, represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which Jupiter rules. Look at all this Sagittarian energy that's coming through, so strong. This Jupiter is also tied to the fixed signs, and that would be Aquarius. Yeah, we were just talking about Uranus and Aquarius too. Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. The Knight of Water is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event. The Knight of Water for me too, like the Ace of Water of Cups, can be about reconciliation, people coming back into your life. For me, the Knight of Cups or Water is often somebody that we know already. Doesn't mean we necessarily dated him or her before, but we're familiar with this person. So it could be a friend that maybe we've been out of touch with and they're going to come back into our lives. Or it could be an ex, maybe even a soulmate connection. Or when you're meeting this person and encountering them this way, this time, this could be the first time that you encounter them this way, coming through very, very strongly. This is a card of tremendous abundance. Definitely, I would say like a soulmate, meant to be, just really strong connection with the Wheel and the Knight of Water together. So very nice. Feminine surrounded by. Interesting. The Queen of Summer. So now we have a couple on the table with the Queen and the Knight, with one possibly slightly older than the other, or like more mature or maybe more uptight. The Queen of Summer is compassionate, loving, giving, and psychic. This is a time of deep emotions and heightened intuition that you can trust completely. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own needs. This part is key, especially when coupled with the Seven of Air. Be mindful that you don't ignore your own needs while caring for others. Why do I say that? Because the Seven of Air is all about plans and revision. More going on than meets the eye and poor timing. And for me, it is a card of joy stealing. And we have the ability to steal our own joy through our lack of confidence, lack of esteem, and lack of nurturing of ourselves. Like we're taking care of other people. We're robbing ourselves of what we need. We're not making ourselves a priority. A lot of the time when these two cards are coupled. So they show up together to remind us to, again, make ourselves a priority and not just be about the business of people pleasing, but take care of yourself too. Queen of Summer, like the Knight, is a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Feminine subconscious. There were two cards that, oh goodness. So now there's three, and it's three very strong, very karmic Major Arcana cards. So it's another Justice. We have Justice mirroring Justice. Major Arcana card 8, Justice, fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up for your beliefs. So also that gives an additional meaning to this Seven of Air. I said it's about joy stealing. Could be about actual theft and stealing and loss too, or somebody trying to take from you what's yours. So if you have a battle, possibly an actual legal battle, stand your ground, keep fighting, because again, you are due reward, abundance, but it looks like somebody's trying to get something from you that they don't deserve. It's coupled with the Lovers. So if that thing that they don't deserve is your heart, make sure that you decide whether or not to welcome this person. Again, this could be welcome somebody back into your life that you know already with the Knight of Cups. Like, you can find yourself in a heart versus head sort of fight. And make sure that you listen to, like I told the masculine, to not only your intuition, but what are your desires. You listen to your heart, and make the best choice for you, not for somebody else. Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers, represents the sign of Gemini. Major Arcana card 8, again, Justice, represents the sign of Libra, both of which are ruled by Venus. So this is very interesting. It's like overwhelming love, and I think that's why they show up with the Tower, because if it's either overwhelming love and abundance, in a relationship with another person, or some sort of thing that has the potential to make you extremely happy, maybe even a job that you could fall in love with or something. And there's still some sort of potential conflict, maybe, or somebody trying to take that from you. A home, maybe that you're wanting, that you're trying to win the bid for, or something. Somebody's trying to maybe take it, or you have to be confident, or that you're trying to sell. Something that can make you very, very happy, and also comes in very, very quickly. Important changes are coming into your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions that you know are right for you. So again, whatever you know to be true for you in your heart, that's what you need to follow. Whatever you know to be true for you based on your intuition and your psyche, that's what you need to follow. Crowning. Oh, wow. Talk about abundance, right? The Ace of Autumn and the Knight of Autumn, or the Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind is the Knight of Pentacles. Also a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And I did just mention that Taurus is associated or tied to Jupiter and the wheel as a fixed sign. Time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. A guardian angel could be coming through. This Knight of Earth could represent a guardian angel in your life, somebody that comes through and they'll be very dependable, reliable, committed, dedicated to the cause. You can count on them. They're grounded. They're not flighty. They're not foolish. They have their wits about them. They come in with the Ace of Autumn. You can expect a windfall of abundance, such as money, timely assistance, a serendipitous meeting, or rewarding advice. You may be offered a fabulous new job or a promotion, right? A job or something you could fall in love with. Or a promotion you could fall in love with, right? You could fall in love with this new, bigger paycheck. Or the prospect of a profitable business venture or investment. That can be, again, what the Tower represents. It can be an actual structure, actual tower. So it could be a business. At the root, foundation, it is another Ace of Water, another Ace of Cups. We got one here, we got one here. And look what it's coupled with, the Four of Spring. So like I was saying, this could be a home. You're bidding for a home. Four of Spring could definitely represent a home, a relationship, a commitment, a contract. But with the Ace of Water, it is a new start for you that is emotionally fulfilling. You are super happy with these two cards coupled together. This is like joy plus, unconditional love and a fresh start. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. You could have just remodeled your home or be wanting to and get a fresh, clean start there, maybe spring cleaning or summer cleaning or all that kind of stuff. And it's making you very emotionally happy when you look up and you have, new paint and new floors and that smell of, clean linen and all that kind of, whatever it is that brings you joy and emotional fulfillment. That's what these two cards represent. And they're crossing other cards that represent the same thing. And they're sitting next to, on either side, a major arcana card, Justice. And it's like, because it's your do this. Like, it's your turn to finally feel and be this abundant, is what these two Justice cards mean. At the heart of the matter. We always got to do this, though. It is Major Arcana card 17, the Star, which far outweighs this 5, or any 5 for that matter. The star represents the planet Uranus in the sign of Aquarius, which it rules. Happy times make positive, optimistic, long-term plans. You are on the right path. And on surface, with the Five of Cups, which can be about pessimism and doubt and disappointment, it can be like you not really having much faith that your dream and will come true, that your wish, your prayer will be answered, your wish will be granted. So you do need to work on that, but there is no reason other than that to believe that your plan won't come true. It just seems to be something that is sort of destined, regardless of our sentiments, and possible lack of faith here. And sort of like, oh, woe is me attitude. With all this major arcana, that's karmic energy. And so that trumps us, especially here with the feminine. The major arcana card 17, the star, can also be about communication. It's like a tech card, like an online dating and sending texts and FaceTime and Skype and I don't know, WhatsApp, all this kind of stuff, contacting people in that way. But definitely it's also about our prayers and dreams coming true. And when we see abundance upon abundance upon abundance, and even where a little more effort or work may be required, it is still fresh starts, abundance, reward, triumph. It looks like a really super good week in every area. I can't even say like, well, love looks good, but money, everything's showing up here. Again, for some advice from the Angels of Abundance, we're starting with focus on your priorities and opening to unlimited ideas. So an abundance of ideas even. Unlimited ideas and declutter. Unlimited ideas. Do one more. It's safe for you to receive. For me, like these fives can be about blocking our blessings and therefore we wouldn't receive. It's like, again, we don't expect our dreams to come true, our prayer to be answered. So that sort of doubt can block your blessings and is sort of the opposite of you believing that it's safe for you to receive. This is saying like, I never get to receive, or, it's not going to happen to me. I'm not deserving. So in that sense, you do want to watch your energy and, keep this in mind. Priorities again, King Solomon, and opening to teacher. Teacher can be us, ourselves, just learning more about ourselves through like the School of Hard Knocks, life's experiences, all that. And our fortitude, the fact that even when we get knocked down, we get back up, persistence. Priorities again. On that note, I'll just cut. Positive change. So this is just like those towers that keep coming in, the wheel, the Ace of Autumn, all of this stuff that, looks like sudden abundance showing up for us. This reconfirms it with Parvati. Very nice. The overall energy is balance, career, and home life. Isis. Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And opening to growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. which comes in with the energy of Sagittarius and Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and growth. Adversity. Oh, love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Adversity. And balance, which Isis just talked about. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. On that note, I will cut. And back to growth. And we come to denial. The overall energy is denial. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. I was just looking at these cards again. Could definitely be some stuff going on with air signs. We've got all three represented here. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. And Libra twice over. Definitely Sagittarius. So some fire energy. Definitely Leo coming through too. There could be relationships and things happening. But look, we have all the elements here because we've got the Knight of Earth crowning as well. So Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Most heavily though, air and fire. Something is happening. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching over you and guiding you. And opening to be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. Ascended Masters. You are profoundly clairvoyant. Trust what you see in your mind's eye, as well as what you see with your physical sight, for your spiritual vision helps you with healing, teaching, and guidance. And also emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivity, as it is a gift to us all. Singing and dancing. Express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical power and music and movement. Release wants to be seen. Listen to your intuitive feelings. Your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. There's another rainbow here. Somebody may be moved to, I don't know, come out or something. Listen to what your feelings tell you. Also release. This could be you releasing an old ideology that makes you feel trapped. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. And Archangel Raphael. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. Overall energy is fairies. You have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. Further advice to the masculine from the angel therapy cards. It is Archangel Raphael back wanting to help you guys specifically. The healing angel is with you, supporting your healing work. Feminine. Ooh, Archangel Michael. You're working very closely with this powerful archangel who's protecting and guiding you through this situation. The masculine got grief or grief work from another deck in my Sagittarius full moon reading, from the butterfly deck. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Feminine purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And even if that's not true in terms of what you feel your ultimate purpose is, for this week, you know on what you're supposed to focus. From the Ascended Masters to the masculine, the flow of prosperity, Lakshmi. Yeah, see, it's all around us. Send the masters to the feminine. Trust, says Vishnu. And I'm going to take that back to here. This is where I was saying, a warning that we could rob ourselves of an opportunity if we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust our intuition. If we lack confidence, if we lack self-esteem, we could rob ourselves of good things, of love, or, good opportunities. Again, a job we'll love, a living condition or space we'll love. We could rob ourselves just of chances if we, don't step up to the plate. From the angels of abundance to the masculine, donations, tithing, and charitable work. Give joyfully to organizations and to people who spiritually support and inspire you, and know that your generosity will be returned to you many-fold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, and other resources that you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. Feminine, for us from the angels of abundance, the power of prayer. Give this situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. This is all about what this is. Remember, I said that this is like not believing that the prayers can come true for you, not believing your dreams can come true. You need to have faith in miracles, and I guess that's why we got this trust card too. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance that God gives you in response to those prayers. From the angels to the masculine, the Eight of Fire. He got this card. He got the Eight. It was a different deck again, but he got the Eight of Fire in the other reading too. Events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once, but you can handle all the things. In this deck, these wands also always reminded me of like Cupid's arrows, and love coming. And of course, the Sagittarius, the archer, is like Cupid too. He's there with the bow and arrow. So I see love. New love for the masculine, or in new ways. Feminine, this teacher energy is back with Major Arcana card 9, the Hermit, which represents the sign of Virgo, the Knight of Earth that's up here. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. And for the masculine, the Five of Autumn, focusing upon the negative, or worrying about money or your career or shitty relationships. All that stuff can block your progress. That's what I was talking about here, blocking your blessings. Because your trust and faith are at a low point right now, it's not the best time to start your own business or to become self-employed, or maybe even to start a relationship. Where's the deck for this? Let's pull another card. Let's ask the angels why the masculine is feeling so devoid of love. This is lack and fear, and it's void. What's this about for the masculine? He's suffering from a lack of movement, which also came up. Oh my goodness. It's like a repeat of the Sagittarius full moon reading. Also came up in that reading. But yes, the good news is movement is here. So you might be expecting this, but you'll want to get out of that funk and stop expecting this. Start expecting better things for yourself, because this is on its way. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies all at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. So again, it comes down to like deservingness. And if you feel like nothing good ever happens to you because you're not worthy, then you have the potential to manifest that lack into your life. But why? When there's so much abundance surrounding you. Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, represents the sign of Cancer and can be about movement, moving, travel, literal and metaphoric. Let's be greedy and look at the next card too. See, you're all conflicted and worried, and it's no reason. These fives Because now you got the Five of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. None of them stand up to Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, which is the ultimate card of victory, even higher than the Ace of Winter. So it's all about you switching your perspective, switching your, because our perspective is our reality, right? It becomes our reality. Our thoughts become our reality. So it's all about you changing your perspective about yourself, masculine, to one that says, yeah, I can lead. I'm deserving of a win. I've put in the effort. It's time for the scales to be balanced, not necessarily my favor. I don't want them out of balance, but it's time for, the plate to come around to my section for me to, get some too. That's the justice that's being handed down and supported by this. Again, emotional fulfillment, happiness. And lastly, for the feminine from that same deck, the Eight of Summer. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living. So it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, feminine, you are in control. And that control, mostly, just like I just told the masculine, has to do with your mind and your thoughts. That's where the control lies. If your thoughts are positive, then you are positive. If your thoughts are negative, then you will be negative and your vibe will be negative. It will drop. It will be low, and that's what you will attract toward you. So you want to keep it positive, keep it up, keep yourself light. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the reading. You find it helpful. Thank you again for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing. I do appreciate it. I'll be back with the love reading. Namaste.